Hey, what's up, curious minds? Ever had that moment when you're scrolling through Instagram at 2 a.m., seeing people with their fancy cars, dream vacations, and perfect lives, and you just think, man, I need more of everything? More money, more stuff, more likes, more followers? Well, what if I told you that this endless pursuit might actually be sinking your happiness boat? That's right. Today, we're diving deep into the science of greed and why sometimes less is actually the badass choice. But here's the million-dollar question, what happens if you never stop wanting more? Like ever? Is it hustle culture paradise or a one-way ticket to misery town? By the end of this video, you'll understand the sneaky psychological traps that might be turning you into the dude on a sinking boat. And trust me, that visual is going to make so much more sense in about 2 minutes. Oh, and stick around till the end because I'll share one ridiculously simple habit that Harvard research shows can increase your happiness by 25%. And no, it's not buying that new iPhone you've been eyeing. But first, let me hit you with a mind-blowing story about a Wall Street banker who had it all, lost everything, and ended up way happier. Let's get into it. The Joyful Lens, Tiny Habits, Big Sense. First, check out this image. See this guy? He's caught all the fish, like all of them. By conventional standards, he's winning at life, right? But look closer at his face. Does he look happy to you? Heck no. He looks stressed EF. His boat is literally sinking under the weight of his success, while the people in the background with just a few fish are chilling and smiling. This isn't just some cutesy metaphor. This is literally what's happening in our brains when we get caught in the trap of never-ending desire. Let me break down the science for you because this stuff is wild. You know what's absolutely wild? Princeton University researchers tracked happiness levels across different income brackets and found that emotional well-being doesn't increase significantly after a household income of about $75,000 per year. That's right. Making more money beyond that point barely moves the happiness needle. Yet we keep chasing those bigger paychecks like they're tickets to happiness Disneyland. This phenomenon has a name. Psychologists call it the hedonic treadmill. Basically, we adapt to positive changes. Crazy fast. Get a new car, you'll be super stoked. For about 2 weeks. Then it just becomes your normal car. Get a bigger house, same deal. Your brain's like, cool story, bro, what's next? It's like when I got my first 100 subscribers. I thought I'd be dancing on clouds forever, but guess what? 2 weeks later, I was obsessing over hitting 1,000. The goalpost just kept moving. Anyone else feel personally attacked right now? Just me? Cool. Let me drop some neuroscience on you. When we're constantly chasing more, our brains get stuck in a dopamine loop. Dopamine is that feel-good chemical that gets released when we anticipate rewards. The problem is, dopamine is about the chase, not the catch. Harvard neuroscientist Dr. Trevor Haynes found that the same neural pathways that make gambling addictive are activated when we scroll through social media looking at lives that seem better than ours. It's literally changing your brain chemistry, making you crave more and more while being less satisfied with what you have. And the cost isn't just mental. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people with materialistic values tend to have 71% higher rates of anxiety and depression, 34% lower self-esteem, 58% less satisfying relationships, and significantly higher blood pressure. Yikes. I mean, is that new Rolex really worth your mental health? Spoiler alert, that ticking sound might just be your stress levels climbing. Let's take a historical detour for a second. Remember King Midas? The dude who wanted so much gold that he wished everything he touched would turn to gold? Seemed awesome until he turned his food, drink, and eventually his beloved daughter into gold statues. Talk about an epic fail. Or consider the story of the 2008 financial crisis. Wall Street's greed literally crashed the global economy, all because people couldn't stop wanting more, more, more. The average American lost 40% of their wealth during that period. That's not just numbers. That's people losing their homes, their retirement savings, their security. Even in nature, we see this pattern. Cancer cells are basically normal cells that don't know when to stop growing. They just keep multiplying until they destroy their host. Not to get too dark, but unchecked greed is essentially the cancer of our society. And wouldn't it be wildin' if we treated social greed with the same urgency as we treat actual cancer? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Research from Cornell University found that experiences make people happier than material possessions. Think about it. Which do you remember more fondly? That expensive watch you bought 3 years ago? Or that road trip with your friends where everything went wrong, but you laughed till your stomach hurt? In Japan, there's this concept called wabi-sabi, finding beauty in imperfection and simplicity. It's basically the anti-materialistic lifestyle, and Japan consistently ranks among the countries with the highest life expectancy. Coincidence? I think not. A 2017 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that people who practiced gratitude for what they already have reported 23% lower levels of stress hormones like cortisol. That's not just feeling better, that's literally being healthier on a cellular level. Sorry to get all sciencey on you, but this is my personal favorite factoid, like bacterial infections, but in reverse. Okay, that was a terrible joke, but you get it. Let me tell you about my friend Mike. This dude was crushing it in finance. Six-figure salary, Manhattan apartment, designer everything. Classic American dream stuff. But he was also working 80-hour weeks, popping antacids like candy, and hadn't been on a date in 2 years. Then COVID hit, and he lost his job. Devastating, right? But here's the plot twist. After the initial panic, he moved to a smaller place outside the city, started a modest online business that gave him time flexibility, and rediscovered his love for painting. When I talked to him last month, he told me, I make half what I used to, but I feel twice as rich. Or take Marie Kondo, this badass Japanese woman, built an entire empire by teaching people how to throw stuff away. Her simple question, does it spark joy, has helped millions of people break free from the burden of owning too much. The irony that she's now selling stuff online is not lost on me, but that's a whole other video. So, what's the alternative to this never-ending hamster wheel of wanting more? It's finding your enough point. Psychologist Dr. Sonia Lubomirsky suggests that each person has a personal happiness sweet spot, a balance of possessions, experiences, and achievements that maximizes their well-being. The trick is figuring out your enough point, not someone else's. For some people, it might be a minimalist lifestyle with just the essentials. For others, it might include some luxuries that genuinely bring joy. The key is mindful consumption, being intentional about what you bring into your life. One way to find your enough point is through what researchers call a happiness audit. Take a week to note every purchase or acquisition and rate how much genuine, lasting happiness it brings you. You'll start noticing patterns of which things actually move the needle on your happiness and which are just temporary fixes. And let me tell you, the results will probably shock you more than that time your grandma accidentally shared a spicy meme in the family group chat. Now for the real game changer, tiny habits that can dramatically increase your satisfaction with what you already have. The 5-minute gratitude practice. Harvard researcher Sean Achor found that writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day for just 21 days can rewire your brain to scan for positives instead of negatives. That's a 5-minute action with potentially life-changing results. In a controlled study, participants showed a 25% increase in happiness levels after just 3 weeks. By the way, I've created a dedicated video on this exact topic for my channel, where I break down the science and practical steps in more detail. If you're intrigued by these findings, you might want to watch it next for a deeper exploration. The 30-day no new stuff challenge. Try going a month without buying anything non-essential. Most people report not only saving money, but feeling lighter and more appreciative of what they already own. One participant in a University of California study saved $1,200 in a single month and rated her overall life satisfaction 40% higher. The joy to stuff ratio. For every new item you bring home, remove 2 items that no longer bring you joy. This simple math ensures your life becomes progressively less cluttered and more intentional. It's like Marie Kondo meets algebra, and it's surprisingly effective. The comparison fast. Try a 1-week social media detox where you don't look at anyone else's highlight reel. Studies show this can reduce anxiety by up to 40% and boost satisfaction with your own life. That's a bigger mood improvement than most antidepressants. without the side effects. These small actions require minimal effort but create massive shifts in how you perceive wealth and happiness. It's like compound interest for your well being, small deposits that yield enormous returns over time. And this is where the contrast between our fisherman friends becomes so clear. Tiny decisions to take just what you need versus the massive burden of taking everything you can. Small choice, enormous difference in quality of life. So here's the bottom line, friends. The boat that's actually taking you to Happiness Island might be a lot smaller than you think. When we chase endless more, we often end up like our stressed out fishermen, technically successful but sinking under the weight of our own acquisitions. American culture has sold us this story that bigger is better, more is merrier, and he who dies with the most toys wins. But that's some straight up malarkey when you look at the science. The truly rich life isn't about having the most fish in your boat. It's about having the right amount of fish and enjoying the hell out of your fishing trip. Maybe the real flex isn't showing off how much you can accumulate, but how little you actually need to be happy. Think about it. The most powerful people often wear the same outfit every day. Looking at you, Steve Jobs. Live in modest homes. Warren Buffett still lives in the house he bought in 1958 and focus on experiences over possessions. So here's my question to you. What's one thing you've been chasing that might actually be weighing down your happiness boat? And what small step could you take today to lighten that load? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this video helped you rethink what enough means for you, smash that like button and subscribe for more science-backed ways to live a smarter, happier life. Next week, we're talking about what happens if you share your life on social media. And trust me, it's way weirder than you think. Remember, life isn't a competition to see who can collect the most stuff. It's about finding peace in your soul. Sometimes the lightest boat travels the furthest. Stay curious, stay grateful, and I'll see you in the next one.